stand up and actually be like, I was standing here and that guy was
So,
standing there.
so it was something that happened in A school, right? So, you know, I wound up eventually leaving A school, going to my first duty station, and like months later, they called me back. So
Hmm.
the lawyer, like they had got me like my own legal representation, but I had spoke to the guy only the first day I got there. My orders
Oh,
was up. I went to the airport, so I'm getting ready to fly back to California. I'm about to board the plane. Then I hear my name over the intercom talking about come back, about come back. So I go back, and that guy was like, "What are you doing?" That lawyer. I'm like, I talked to you the first day. I haven't seen
right.
you or heard from you since. This was because this was the '90s, so there was no cell phones or nothing.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
it.
I'm like, he's like, yeah. He said we need you still here. So I wound up staying another like 10 days. But
Sheesh.
what was crazy? What's crazy is so he was biracial, right? But
Okay.
he didn't know it. Like at first, he was like, man, because we weren't getting nowhere. I was just basically like, man, I'm not saying nothing. I'm not talking.
All right.
You
Good.
know. So he's like, you stonewalling me. So he was just like, you think I'm white? I'm like, I don't. What do you mean? He was like, so he pulled out a picture of his parents.
Okay.
His parents, he's biracial. So he
Right.
showed me a picture. Then he showed me a picture of his wife. And then he was
Okay.
like, "Where are you from again?" I was like, Pittsburgh area." So he's like, "Okay." So he pulled out another picture from when he played football in college.
Okay.
So he went to the University of Colorado, and Chad Brown, he used to play for the Steelers. He was a linebacker,
All
and
right.
also Dion Figures was a cornerback. So he played with them. So like
Yeah,
at that
wow.
point, yeah. So we was able to kind of break the ice, and all, and so
Okay.
get me to stop
What does that have to do with
stonewalling
your
me.
race, though?
He felt as though maybe I was
Hey, in
probably
case you
because of
think I'm
that.
white, look at this picture of me playing football.
That was his way, that he used that
Hey,
as a
yeah,
way
whatever works, but
yeah,
still,
to
that's
get
kind of
in.
crazy.
So it worked, and we became cool and stuff like that. So like I said, I stayed there another 10 days. I wound up having to testify like once, but the dude, he wound up getting off on
Okay.
on that situation. But yeah, it was interesting, that whole
So
going
he
back.
serves continuously or just got
He
out
he
with
stayed in.
honorable?
He stayed in, I think, because his
Okay.
they lessened the charges. They lessened
Oh,
the
okay,
charges.
okay, right.
Yeah.
Man, good thing he's got you, man. Right?
Yeah, but
Yeesh.
yeah, that
What if you
was
didn't
a
stay
wild
that 10 days? What if you
situation.
had to go, you know?
Uh-huh. But
Man.
yeah, it was cold down there when I was in Pensacola that time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I only had like two pair of pants. I'm coming from California.
Right.
Yeah, going to Florida. It was cold down there during that time.
Sheesh.
How did you like Pensacola?
I liked it. Like I
Okay.
said, that mess hall is the best I've ever seen. I hope they're still doing that. I
Mm-hmm.
was the A Rock. I can't remember. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, as far as like I talk about, performing and using my voice, that
Yeah.
time when I'm in school, being the A Rock, screaming the cadence and all that.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, I feel like it built my vocal cords to be
Mm.
able to stay the same level when I do my rapping now. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like I got more control. I feel like once you scream so loud
Mm-hmm.
consistently,
Yeah.
left, right on your left, right. We were doing that one.
Uh-huh.
um, even people today, they're like, "Man, you're so loud." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like they say your voice carries. I'm like, "Oh, well,
Yeah.
sorry, I can't hear, man." you know? But yeah. So Pensacola was a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Just you kind of build more confidence in that A school time frame of your service. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you start seeing other people, you start being a little more competitive, and I just feel like when you're around everybody that's all trying to upgrade, it's like you don't realize because it's a military base, right? So we're all over here pushing the limits, but you don't
Mm-hmm.
realize how much time, what a 6 month, whatever time in Pensacola can do to your habits, your body, your mind. Like I
Yeah.
was around some great guys that really like they kind of make you feel like it all day you're racing. You know what I mean? And at the
Mm-hmm.
moment anybody starts, falling back a little bit, it's like everybody can feel it and they see you and they're like, "Hey, go hard, go harder." So I
Yeah.
just I love having that mentality, and I'm just proud of like how the military has brought me to be who I am today. You know,
Yeah. So
more product.
what was your rate? What was your rate again in the Navy?
AM3 or
Okay.
E4
And
or yeah E4.
so for AM3, like explain that. What is that? Aviation mechanic?
Yeah, aircraft mechanic,
Yeah, aircraft
and
mechanic. Okay.
that was a great time. You know,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say I don't know a lot, but I learned a lot as far as different tools, and I started realizing like, okay, just from before being in the military,
Mhm.
everybody I feel like is a little nervous or scared to break something. You know what I mean? Like you tell them to just change their own tire or something, they're hesitant if they don't handle tools all the time, right? But
Uh-huh.
in that time, man, I started realizing, oh, if I break it, I gotta fix it. Then it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's parts you can
Yeah.
switch it. So with just having that little bit of knowledge and experience, it's like now, hey, whatever. If it breaks, we'll fix it. Like that whole don't be afraid to go 100%. If you're cranking on something or pulling something out, like
Yeah.
if you got to put all your might in it, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
If you need a running start to get something, it's like go for it, get it done.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, people want to see progress. Hey, did you get that panel off? Hey, is that tire back on? You know what I mean? They don't care how you get it done. Well, they do.
Yeah.
Hey, I eat them. Follow the rules, people. But I'm saying, you don't want to be the guy that said, "Oh, I couldn't get it." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I didn't try hard enough. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just really, just being a mechanic all day like that. Working on F-18s, diving in the ducks. You know what I'm saying? Them
Yeah.
things are still kind of going, but you gotta like
Uh-huh.
just be careful. Trust yourself more. I feel like that's
Yeah.
what it is. You trust yourself. But
Okay.
yeah, it was a great time. I had a great service, honestly.